Hi, today we're going to talk about IT, technology, cost savings. So Rich, you and I have had a lot of recent initiatives with us and our team working on hospitals and saving dollars in the IT and technology space. And what I think is most interesting that it comes into two different areas within IT, right? So there's the non-healthcare IT and then the healthcare part and the things we look at, right? So we always look at the licensing, the support, the right amount of users, are they optimized, right? They're not spending more. We always look at is there anything extra that they're being billed for that they're not using, double billing. We always kind of do that analysis, and of course we look at pricing. But I just want to talk with you a little bit about the new technology, the things that are coming out that maybe is a little bit brand new to the marketplace, and yet how we're still achieving cost savings, even though it might be the first time that this company has entered the marketplace. So you and your team have done a fascinating and amazing job at deconstructing the pricing strategies from these new technology vendors. I want to talk about that a minute.
Right, absolutely. And really what it, down to is that each aspect of the organization now has technology, from obviously clinical, support services, finance, telehealth, even things in administration and with physicians. So it's all these new technologies, everything is moving so quickly. And a lot of new companies are coming on board, or existing companies are developing new technologies and new services.
It never existed like 2 months ago.
Right, so if you had to do a traditional benchmark that's the first time it's been out, so there's no benchmarks.
Right.
So what do? You just, it's good? Well, that's not how we operate. We're going to deconstruct the contract, understand what are all the levers that are driving all the different pricing, what is it based on, and then use our experience over the last 10 to 15 years dealing specifically with IT contracts and how that migrates in and how that
parallels.
Yes, parallels. Thank you, Lisa. And so in doing that, we're able to again really pull down the key drivers and then have a conversation. We always do, and we've always been doing this since 1999, is to have those end user conversations. Now, internal stakeholders, and then once we get buy-in and then we can start to investigate more, we talk to the vendors and then really understand what the different costs are and why they're there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you and your team have been doing is something that's similar, and trying to draw connections and parallels to it, so that just because it's a first-time vendor in maybe even a first-time space, there's some qualities that you can ascertain and say, wait a minute, this looks like this. I think this is where we need to focus on. This is where there's opportunities to save money, or this is where we need to focus on from the contract perspective. So I think the biggest takeaway is that if you've got new technology or a new offering, you really need to kind of look through those agreements. There's always opportunity for cost savings, and just because they put a new pricing mechanism in place doesn't mean you can't deconstruct it and look for savings. I know now a lot of the technology vendors are adding a price per bed or a price per discharge, and kind of making this so complex. And somebody very wise once said, I think the complexity only serves the vendors, right? So we help those agreements, we remove the complexity because they're very difficult to be able to measure and monitor. At VIE, we have a 3-step process to work with us. First is to schedule a call with Rich and I, and we'll work together and create a customized plan, and then we'll collaborate together and we'll execute on that plan.